long the GU game was playing, and we were trying to get this stream started. Hope everyone's having a good night. While Gonzaga's playing right now, they're playing St. Mary's, and they're up by a lot. So I don't really expect much out of that game, to be honest with you. But what we can expect is, this Gonzaga team that's super, super deep, and they got a whole bunch of talent. Whoa. Sorry, my my webcam was a little bit wacky. But, tonight what we're going to do is we're going to break down the Gonzaga St. Mary's game. And I'm sorry, not the Gonzaga St. Mary's game. It's Gonzaga versus Iowa. And I said last night that we're going to have an issue finding film on Gonzaga that's almost applicable to who they are. And I think this is probably the closest film that we can actually get with Iowa and Gonzaga. Now, Gonzaga's up 51-24 right now against St. Mary's. And that game is on ESPN. You guys can watch it. I know a lot of you will probably tune in and probably want to watch that game more than you want to watch this stream, which is totally fine. You can watch this later in the VODs. Just look down and on my channel, and you'll find a whole bunch of other breakdown videos that we did. Last night, we did Baylor, and Baylor's a solid team. Now, do I think Baylor has the depth and the offensive ability that Gonzaga has? No, but they make up with it with their aggressiveness, their defense especially. And I think it's going to be a really good matchup. I think it's really going to come down to these two teams. It's going to come down to Baylor and Gonzaga. Texas Tech's in that. Michigan's in that. Ohio State's in that. Alabama. Even if we look up right now, let's just look up college basketball top 10. Now, this is an AP poll done. And they're usually ranked. So we can look this up. You guys can find this. So you have here, get out of there, bro. You have Gonzaga, Baylor, Michigan, Ohio State. Now, Michigan hasn't played in the past couple weeks, so you can't really get much out of who they are yet. They've been shut down. Their AD said no playing sports in Michigan. Ohio State, another sleeper. I believe they played Penn State tonight. I could be wrong, but I think they played Penn State tonight. And I'll actually look that up after the stream and see what actually went down. Then you have Illinois. Illinois is making a really interesting play. They've been somewhat solid. Interesting. The fighting Illinois. I think it's Illinois is who they are. Then you got Houston. Houston's a solid team. What's interesting is you don't see Texas Tech anywhere on this list in the top 10. You have Villanova at number 10, Oklahoma behind them, in front of them, and then Alabama and Virginia. So super interesting top 10 that you have there, the AP poll. I don't even think Texas Tech is actually on there. They're just 15th. They're just ranked 15. So you have these teams, and Gonzaga has those hitters. They have a lot of top 10 recruits that are super solid for them, and it makes them super deep, especially in the guard. I don't think they're that deep from the big, but they have skilled bigs. Anton Watson, even from watching him tonight, looks like he's gotten a lot bigger. He's looking like he's been hitting in the gym, and he's matured a lot as well. He's playing great basketball. Gonzaga does that 1-2-2. They put Anton at the very front of that 1-2-2, which is solid. Absolutely solid for them having a 6'8" guy in the wing that can do that stuff. Anton is a good player. Corey Kispert, a good player. One other guy that I'm super impressed with was Cook. I think Cook is I was talking on the phone with one of my buddies. He said that Cook is a defensive menace, and I completely agree. His ability to defend, and he uses his strengths really well. And that doesn't go without mentioning Jalen Suggs and Nebhart and Joel Ayayi, Corey Kispert. All those guys are solid guards, top-tier guards. And then you have Drew Timme down at the bottom. Now, that's kind of where the Abalo as well, but I don't think they're that deep in that area. You'll see here in the first 5 minutes of this Ohio game, Ohio isn't really that good defensively. You heard Jay Billis say it tonight, and I agree with him. Iowa is not really that good. They rank 11 on this list. They're behind Villanova, behind Oklahoma, behind Alabama and Virginia. So, it goes to say, they're playing St. Mary's. Is St. Mary's that solid? I don't know. I don't think the WCC is that strong. On other news, Gonzaga and both BYU. Okay, I don't know if anybody's heard this. They're trying to opt out of their conference title games. They don't want to play any conference title games. Risk of infection, risk of injury, and there really isn't any purpose. Both of them kind of secured their place in the NCAA tournament. But it opens up the door for those 4 or 5 teams, ranked teams, to sneak in to the tournament, which I don't know if it's that healthy for teams to have that. But we'll certainly find out. So we'll watch this game. This will be the Iowa versus Gonzaga. This was on 12/19, so it's a little bit later. And Jay Billis said it tonight, which was what I said last night, was that the only 2 really powerhouse teams that Gonzaga's played and beat them was Kansas and Iowa. And we're watching one of those films here. So, again, you can find all these online if you really wanted to, but we're going to be breaking down Gonzaga, especially looking at how well they play. I know it's kind of an overall, scheme of things. We talk about a lot of the defense of the opponents, that the teams that we're breaking down, how they're playing it. What would you do different? And we saw Baylor, and going into Baylor's aggressiveness, they do a little quick motion into a ball screen. You're going to find that in Gonzaga as well. You're going to find them attacking the rim. You're going to find them finding the open man, hitting open threes, doing the things right. They play basketball in the right way, and it's really cool to watch. Gonzaga runs a 1-2-2. It's a slow-down press. They look to harass and corral the ball carrier into a corner. So we'll watch a little bit of this game tonight. I know most of you are probably watching the game. It's going to be a blowout. It's 56-24 with 18 minutes left. That lead is just going to take off unless Gonzaga just finds a way to piss the bed. But I doubt Gonzaga will piss the bed with how they've been playing. Interesting stat of the night last night was that Baylor has been beating their opponents by 10-plus points. Gonzaga hasn't been doing that. So, It's interesting to also note that it also is key to note out that Baylor is drawing 300 plus fouls from all of their opponents, which I found also very staggering because, that means they're super aggressive. I don't know how many free throw attempts Gonzaga has made or attempted, how many times they've gotten to the line, but it's not as much as Baylor. And we talked last night about the paint touches. The paint touches that Baylor does, they get into the paint every single time. Now, Gonzaga do that? Yes, they do. And Gonzaga is really good at that. But they have really good movement, as we'll see here, and really good matchups. GU does a hell of a job of scouting their opponents, knowing what they're going to run, how to stop them, and I think that's really important. Their coaching staff is amazing at Gonzaga. They've done a hell of a job bringing guys in, bringing players in, and just an overall program, especially from top recruits. We talked last night about, I believe, a 2022 crystal ball player who's thinking about going to Gonzaga. I mean, this is the culture that's going on in Spokane right now, is basketball. It's all about basketball around Gonzaga. They're the Cinderella story. They've Mark Few is one of the most winningest coaches in college basketball. He's got a lot of wins. He's underneath Coach K, underneath Bill Self, Calipari, maybe even above them. But he is a hell of a coach, hell of a guy, and a hell of a program that he's run. We talked a lot about the off-ball movement, so I want to talk today on this short stream about Gonzaga and how well they move without the ball. Not many teams move well and space well off the ball, none like Gonzaga. Gonzaga's a solid team. It's not Gonzaga, it's Gonzaga. Okay? So let's watch the first 5 minutes. We'll watch offensive tendencies, defensive tendencies, what you're probably going to see, and if the matchup does come, we'll be able to break it down.
No surprises whatsoever. Jalen Suggs may have benefited the most with this layoff because that ankle that he injured, that Mark Few had to deal with.
21 consecutive seasons with 23 plus wins.
Mark's done 22nd
They're at the Pentagon right now.
And here we go. The Hawkeyes will control the tip. They've got the basketball to start things off.
Looking to post.
Little man-to-man action for Gonzaga
Anton
to start things off. Garza
versus Garza. Good hands on the ball. Garza's a solid player. Not much for Iowa other than Garza. Maybe Fran McCaffrey as well.
It's going to be interesting. Does Gonzaga play him one-on-one throughout the game as they did there?
Good look there by Gonzaga.
Look to double him and open up the three-point shots for the Hawkeyes.
There's Bohannon leading the charge. Ball is not.
Again, I don't know how many times. Watch Suggs here. I don't know how many times this kid has gotten his hand on the ball, gotten steals, gotten looks. His anticipation skills is solid on the defensive end. He's just an all-around good player. Watch this. Over here. Fights through the screen, gets a hand on it. Amazing.
And a foul is going to be called against the Hawkeyes.
And they're going to call that a foul on Fran McCaffrey.
Suggs showing you some of that football anticipation and speed, jumping into the passing lane there. And because he got there so early, that foul was called on Frederick.
Solid player,
folks that
man.
have watched him play this year echo the same thing you just said. They say because he was such a good defensive.
Here we go, a little motion. A little clear out here. You'll see this a lot of times with Gonzaga. Kick to the 5 guard.
Back in football.
He's going to kick over. Quick pass back. Anton's going to clear. Now look at this. There's only going to be maybe 3 guys on this side of the floor. Technically, there's only 1 guy on this side of the floor right now, so they're really opening it up for Suggs to drive.
Participation on the basketball court.
High hedge and show. Open man's over here. Timmy. This is something that Timmy does well, is he will go and find a body to post up on. He doesn't just go to the open space, right? He occupies a defender, which a lot of bigs don't do. But he does a really good job here of occupying that defender, gets it to him. He looks, They're going to double. This is very similar to what Baylor's done to their opponents. They've doubled the big a lot. Expect a lot of teams to start doubling. We've seen St. Mary's do this. And Anton with the wherewithal to slip into this open space underneath the basket.
Basketball skill.
Still wide open. Calls for a travel. And great dunk by Anton. Like I said, Anton's growing a lot.
We're excited about this matchup between
he just looks like he's gotten bigger in the weight room. Especially tonight, watching him up on the big screen, he's done a hell of a job of transforming his body. Another hand down the ball. Good anticipation by Kispert.
Another steal for the Zags. Here comes
and that's also to really note, Gonzaga is probably the best team that capitalizes on live ball turnovers. They will sprint up the floor so fast, you will blink, and they're scoring the basket off of your turnover. They're probably the best team in America right now that can take turnovers and create buckets out of them on the other end of the floor. They do a hell of a job at it. And I'm just impressed by that because a lot of teams, they really don't convert off of turnovers. But this team, they really, really convert. And as a freshman, Jalen Suggs, averaging 13 points a game. Incredible. The kid is unbelievable. Again, Anton banging out with big man Garza. I'm saying Timmy and Anton, a good big matchup for Gonzaga. Will they match up with Baylor? We don't know. As I say that, he rims it off underneath.
I think he was surprised he was that open.
And again, there's another steal by Suggs. I'm telling you, this kid has a nose for the ball. He knows where the ball is going to go. He's there. He anticipates so well, and he's off. Did he go out of bounds? The ball did.
And just wasn't able to keep it in bounds.
He had 9 interceptions.
This is what we see a lot. I know it's a little bit short, but watch Gonzaga here after this little stint, and it's going to come really fast. But you see they're in a 1-2-2. They got Anton in the front. Great choice by Mark Few. Put the 6'8" kid out in the front and long arms. It's easily broken. They're looking to slow down their opponents, create traps in these corners. That's what Gonzaga does really well.
He had 9 interceptions in
slowing them down in the back end of it. Kispert doing a hell of a job against Garza. Good ball movement by Iowa. Can't get it. Joel Ayayi really long, and here comes. Pushing the ball up the floor. In transition, Gonzaga's probably the most dangerous team in America. I mean, without a question, they are really dangerous.
Perhaps Mark Few was concerned about how sharp will his team be.
I mean, we've seen half-court aggressiveness by Baylor and how aggressive they are at getting to the rim. Here's a 1-2-2 again.
Great hands by Connor McCaffrey.
Slowing them down, can't get matched up.
It's not a 3, that's
wide
a 2,
open.
Short, and Kispert with the board.
This gets out of control a little bit.
Got
Got to get out on him, man. Corey Kispert once said that he befriended his janitor at Edmonds, Washington, and in his high school. And he befriended the janitor so that he would be in there in the mornings, he'd be in there late at night working on his shot, just getting shots up. And it's really paid off for him, all that hard work. But his humbleness, his generosity to be relational with people has really gotten him to this point. He's a solid player. Bad pass by Timmy. And that's one thing that you have to watch out for. Yeah, he's seeing the double come, but there's nobody there. So what if you have Adachua, I may be pronouncing his name wrong for Baylor, Anya, and they're doubling the same like this. I mean, you got to get these passes down because that's what Baylor's going to do to you, especially guys like Gonzaga. And they're probably going to call it on Anton because he shoves him on the ground.
Watson for that foul, Tom. Didn't quite make his cut hard enough to get in front of
right.
McCaffrey.
That's a really good point.
And then collided with him. Good idea here, but there you see, you got him with the left arm.
Do they look at this
at the end of that
to see see if it's high?
By the way, I got to correct myself. It was Wieskamp who had the 3, not McCaffrey. They shoot so well from beyond the arc. Anybody can hit it any time.
Well, they made 12 of them a game so far.
Yeah, so they're going to review this, say it's just a basketball play
so
again.
Take a look at this to see if it was intentional or not.
It's not intentional because we've watched this game, you know, obviously. And they're going to say play on here.
So 5-5 game.
It's 65-29 in the current game that's going on right now. So Gonzaga is really whooping on St. Mary's with 14 minutes left to go. 65-29. So they're blowing out their opponents, and this is at home in front of fans too. You can tune in. It's on ESPN. One of these nights we'll actually do a watch party where if you want to watch the GU game, you can watch with me, and we'll watch it together. I mean, they are literally making a fool of St. Mary's. Literally making a fool of St. Mary's. And St. Mary's is 11-6, I believe.
Keep an eye on Tom. Gonzaga
I can't really see
7
that
guys
far.
in Iowa.
My eyes are bad.
McCaffrey told us he's
A lot of ball handling.
Up to 11 guys, but most likely he'll stay with his 9-man.
That was a good shot.
Frederick, also a tremendous perimeter.
Let's see what Gonzaga runs on offense. Little handoff.
Yeah, Frederick with a soft touch. He averages 9.5 per game.
This is an easy bucket. This is just simple motion principles that Gonzaga runs here. A little kick here. And then what will happen is a little dish. And kind of a screen, a little bit more of like a rub screen. And then get into the rim. Just can't finish.
It is pretty remarkable watching Iowa play this year and scoring as many points.
Good hands. Corey does a really good job.
Well, they play at a fast pace. They've got a really balanced attack.
He does a really good job of having active hands on defense. His hands are up, taking down the shot. Jalen Suggs, something else.
With the triple.
Something else, bro. 69-31, 13 minutes left in the St. Mary's game. A lot of stagnant ball by Iowa. Not really moving the ball around. Hasn't really touched one side of the floor, gotten to the other like we've seen in Gonzaga. Gonzaga has moved the ball from one end. They brought that ball all the way over, and we just saw the drive there, I believe, by Nebhart.
1 point lead.
But you see how this ball for Iowa is getting stagnant. They look for a high ball screen.
Garza will hit a 3 from time to time. He's over 60% from beyond the arc.
I mean, not really much action, but they get the shots. They get to the spot. They hit the shots. The ball's not really moving like Gonzaga runs. Here comes a high ball screen for Suggs.
81 points away from
looking to work. Got to look for the kick out. Here comes the ball screen. Not really. A rub. And Timmy finding a way to put a body on somebody and box. One more possession for Gonzaga, and then we'll go to the last 5 of this game.
Wieskamp open for a moment. CJ Frederick for 3. He's getting to go.
Well, they've got so many weapons on that perimeter, and the spacing is outstanding. It makes it
handoff, like we said, the big will usually hand off. Sorry about that, boys. I'll make it a little bit louder for you. They'll hand off. They'll do a quick pitch to the 5-man. The 5-man will space out to the wing. The big, the 4, will come out, set a ball screen. These 2 over here, they're doing almost like a down screen. Corey's going to come off and look to penetrate.
Good job.
Who's open on these? Usually it's the 5-man, Suggs, because who's got to tag up? Now, Iowa didn't do a really good job of fighting through those screens, and they hang. And what I mean by hang is that they'll hang on the ball carrier a little too long, opening up these looks where now you have Timmy setting a screen for Suggs.
So you've got to do a good job.
Corey recognizes it. He can't really get it. His pivot foot's his inside pivot, left foot. He's trying to get around. Can't really make a pass with Garza and Fran right on him. So he's got to kick out to the strong side now. Timmy's going to go to work on Garza. I mean, two big bodies.
Timmy's
a great post player. Great post player.
The ability to score anywhere inside the paint with those soft hands.
Yeah, he's got really good feet, too. Very light-footed and nimble, and there's Garza doing what he does.
And this is what Gonzaga does. A lot of teams will do this, is they'll play inside. And the reason Timmy is playing this way, it's not like it's just broken. Yeah, he's trying to fight over the top. Now he's in bad situation. But what he's expecting is help from this baseline side. Gonzaga will actually force to this top side, and they know the double's coming from the bottom side. So it's not like Timmy's doing a bad job of trying to deny an entry pass. That's not what he's trying to do here. He's in the back of his mind, he's expecting and knowing that this bottom defender should be over to come double.
Soft hand.
He still stays there. Any knowledgeable player would have already jumped to protect the hoop.
Yeah, he's got really good feet, too.
Here comes the double. Corey comes in. That probably made the difference for Garza. They're going to have to do that against Baylor.
Finding angles where there appear to be no
Suggs again.
Suggs, long-range three. It's good. Bangs another
That's
one.
nice.
You know, the Zags have struggled
He's
shooting
unbelievable.
the three in the first 3 games they've played, but they've got quality three-point shooters, and I've often said, you go with the percentages, even though they're only at 29 thus far. They're a much better shooting team.
Double,
than
got him
that
with the
from
foul.
three, and today would be the day to break out of it.
Suggs, two.
I love Brian Michelson there. He's getting really excited. I like Brian Michelson. A really knowledgeable guy. If I could sit down and have a coffee with Brian Michelson, oh my God, probably make my whole year. That guy is so knowledgeable. I love the way he coaches too. He just sees the game very similar to how I see the game.
With the rebound, he's in the game for the first time. So Gonzaga is going a little deeper.
Here we go, last 5 minutes of the first. And we'll see here, Gonzaga's kind of taking it. They've kind of made the big transition here of taking the lead.
Practice time is all over the place, if in fact you even have a chance
So,
to practice.
super
But he
interesting.
thinks those freshmen are both going to be integral parts of Gonzaga's team as we move further into the season.
So Nunji to the free throw line off the foul from Suggs. Front of the 1-1 is good. Tuesday at 9 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Catch the 18th ranked San Diego State Aztecs as they battle St. Mary's on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. BYU with the big win yesterday against San Diego State.
Very impressive win.
Gonzaga solid.
Pretty much from start to finish.
Yeah, Mitchell made it a 2-point game with about 2.5 minutes left, but then that was it.
Yeah, he had a 3 that he took that would have given San Diego State the lead, but
I'll pose that question. I know who y'all got.
Good hands here by Iowa in
Gonzaga
that zone
or Baylor?
defense.
Who do you think after watching last night and tonight?
Convert Gonzaga in man-to-man defense.
7 turnovers.
Solid. Gonzaga very similar. Look at the space here. I mean, not much space that they give you on defense. Very similar to how Baylor plays. Very similar.
Nunji inside. Luka Garza didn't have the angle. Whistle blows and a foul underneath.
Suggs takes
I
it.
think Nunji came in and got Suggs with the lower forearm there, going after that rebound. Good move there by Garza and just overshot it, and there you
Don't
see
finish.
the nudge.
It is currently
by Nunji,
69-35 of the
and
current
foul was
Gonzaga
committed on
game.
Suggs.
They're playing St.
Suggs took
Mary's.
a little bit of
A
a
little
fall
over
there.
11 minutes left to play.
There's a lot of hand fighting, Tom,
69-35.
that goes
Gonzaga's
on
really
inside
taking
when
it to
you're
him.
trying to corral rebounds,
Really taking
but
it to him.
you don't have to bump a guy much to gain a significant advantage.
So there's a little 1-2-2 by Iowa, trying to slow them down in transition. We talked about how deadly and dangerous Gonzaga really is in transition, and we're seeing it.
That's why Nunji was whistled for the foul.
Did you like the battle?
Double in the corners.
Loved it.
That's typical out of a 1-2-2, and now they're probably going to drop back
As much as I can
into their
remember
man-to-man.
of it, you know, it's starting to fade from my rearview
Into their
mirror
man-to-man.
now.
Start writing stuff down.
Yeah, it's starting to fade from my rearview mirror. But every now and then, my memory is jarred about how much fun
So I think
it
they
was
just
to get
called
in there and
mixer.
get a missed shot and demoralize the opposition when you put it back in the hoop.
A lot of motion. That's a lot of motion to defend. Like I said, very similar to how Baylor plays. They really want to spread the ball out, add some motion in there, and it's just a lot of confusion for teams to try to defend that. If you guys haven't already, hit that follow button. Tomorrow, we're trying to decide which team we're going to do, either Michigan or probably Michigan. It'll probably be a Michigan game because we haven't seen much of them. Haven't really heard about them and how they have been playing, to be honest with you. And we also talked last night on the stream. We talked about the verticality that Gonzaga plays in. It looks like Iowa, if they don't score here, they're going to get a timeout. Under 4 timeout right now. Yeah, so they're going to get a timeout here in the under 4 timeout. Media timeout. This is when NFL is still going on. This is this is December 19th. An outstanding quarterback recruited by Iowa. I mean, come on, man. Little baseline runner exchange of the wings right into a post for Garza, and Ballo's in there. So gives Timmy a rest, and they put Ballo in. Like I said, they're not very deep without Anton. Without Timmy in the game, I think Gonzaga's really weak link in the chink of the armor is really at their big spot. If Timmy gets in foul trouble, if Anton gets in foul trouble, can they rely on their guards? How deep they are on the guards? They probably go like 4 guards deep with skills and top guard recruits. But I truly think that's really the weakness of Gonzaga is their bigs. I mean, you're just 4 fouls away, 3 fouls away with Timmy that you're going to be in trouble. For his opponent, so I like for his teammates. Don't pick the dribble up right there. And Gonzaga's Corey's looking for him, not there. Gets it stripped. I know it's kind of hard to see. Does anybody else have an issue like finding the ball?
Here's Suggs through the lane, has it knocked away, still loose.
Like I'm having a hard time tracing the ball on this floor because it matches so well. Cook.
Yeah, an open 3 and it's good. That's it, Cook. Wow. And that's after Suggs is in there.
Cook's a solid defensive specialist. He's solid. He can shoot the ball. He's just an overall good basketball player. They're going to switch the double screen, double down screen, and then a screen away right into a post for Garza. Garza's all the way out by the wing. Now he gets to the spot at the elbow. Again, this is where Gonzaga's so good at verticality. Watch. He's established his defensive position right here. Corey Kispert establishing his defensive positioning and then jumps straight up. He doesn't jump into him. He doesn't go down. He jumps straight up, almost like a volleyball block. And that's how you play vertical. Most players, when they get they say, well, I was straight up the whole time. You weren't. If you really want to watch verticality, watch Gonzaga. I'm telling you, you have to watch Gonzaga. They're solid at it.
These guys are having fun because it's been a pickup game. And everybody wants to play a pickup game.
9 threes for the Zags. Timeout for Iowa.
9 threes.
If you thought you saw the last of
Please
double
no.
cheeseburger pizza, think again.
Don't tell me this is okay. I was about to say, bro, if this video has any DMCA, I don't want it to be taken down or muted. That'd be terrible, right?
At the half. Busy day for college basketball, and a busy day on CBS as well. This is just the start. We've got 2 more basketball games coming up, and then the SEC championship. And Fran McCaffrey calling that timeout, Clark, because his team right now down by 17.
Look at Cook. Cook's guarding the ball right now.
They've got to get scores so that they can at least have a chance.
High low look for Garza. Take the open shot. That's good basketball.
Run good offense, score the ball. Now you can get back.
This is where the hype of Gonzaga was really, the hype of Iowa was like at its pinnacle. They're 6-0. Like, oh my God, Iowa's really good. We see a lot of this. Watch Joel Ayayi. He's looking to space out over here. Excuse me. He's looking to space out over here.
Play more in the half.
Because they really like this look. They really like this, what I call an overload look. So what they're really doing is they're trying to open up the floor on this opposite side. They're looking for drives, and they're looking for kickouts. They're trying to create 2-on-1 scenarios. Gonzaga does a hell of a job. I remember when John Jackmas, I believe his name is John Jackmas. He used to be the basketball of operations at Gonzaga a little bit while. Now it's Jorge. I can't believe I forget his last name. Sorry, Jorge. But great. But John was talking about how they always look for creating 2-on-1 scenarios, and it hasn't left Gonzaga's playbook. They always look for 2-on-1. So on this drive here, if they get a 2-on-1, they know they've created an advantage. And Gonzaga does that so well, probably better than any other team that I know of. So again, there's the 2-on-1. The screener gets hung up.
Or Connor McCaffrey.
And he's going to clear out again. Right into a ball screen for Ballo. Suggs again. Woo! I'm telling you, Suggs, he's just different, man.
That's 10 threes in this first half for the Zags.
10 threes for the Zags. That's push off, going the other way.
No, he pushed off. No way, Jimmy. He pushed off right there. Got him with the elbow.
That's how most officials ref, by the way.
And right now, Iowa has to regain its composure for this next 92 seconds.
Minute
So
32.
it's hard to do that when you're not scoring. And the other team is
Almost done with the
running it
first
down
half.
the
We'll watch the first 5 of the second
making
half.
threes out of
Here's a little quick guard exchange. Looks like Ballo's setting up for a down screen. So the wings are going to cross on the baseline.
very
Doesn't look like it. Looks like it's going to be a fake. They're going to go screen.
high rate.
Again, with Gonzaga, they're going to overload a side, creating this single side over here, looking to dribble, create a 2-on-1. We've seen that a lot of times. Not many teams run something like this. Now, what we talked about in the last 2 streams that you can find on my channel, you can scroll down, click one, you can watch them. We talked about icing the screen. Last night was super imperative, especially with teams that rely heavy on a ball screen. We talked about how Baylor runs heavy on a motion, very similar to how Gonzaga runs. They run a quick motion into a ball screen, and it creates havoc for defenses. So one of the common things to relieve a ball screen is to ice the screen, denying the screen. Clearly, this is better than how Auburn was running their ice against Baylor, because this is how an ice is supposed to look. Now, how do you defeat this? Ballo should just step out. Now, I really like how if Timmy's in the game, you have Timmy usually hit this because he's probably a better three-point shooter, and I would probably trust him more to take that shot. So you really want to pick and pop here. Let's see what they do. Should have already gone away. But it looks like Suggs has kind of worked his man down so he can really use his screen. Really smart.
Suggs wants the high screen.
He does.
Against Toussaint.
And they're going to call it the other way. Again, this is where if it's not there.
Suggs wants the high screen.
Yeah, looks like he went into him. Really does. Looks like he just went right into him.
Yeah. Anytime you extend that hip, that's an easy one.
You know, he's a big body. They call him Baby Shaq for a reason. He's going to be solid for Gonzaga. Solid. As soon as he gets going, learns, gets better, more playing, I think he's going to be a solid player for Gonzaga.
How about that?
Here comes the motion. That's a nice little set there. Right inside, little in and out. Looking at it again. Good up and under by Garza.
14 points now.
Solid player.
So he is 14 of the 35. Under a minute to play in the first half. Ooh, that's a tough pass to play in the first half. Ooh, that's a tough pass spinning off the hands of Ballo.
I don't know if I like the look. You got to catch it.
Well, you made 2 really good points. It was catchable, but it was a tough one. And for a big guy, it even
Really
becomes
catchable.
a little more difficult.
Ballo will take his seat. He led his country, Mali, to the under-19 championship.
That's right.
This past off-season. Lost to the United States, the farthest his country's ever gone in a tournament of that stature.
Right into another ball screen.
35 seconds left to play.
Suggs took a shot to the
That
face.
is a tough shots.
That's one of those, a lot of teams and a lot of parents, and I think it's a good educational point, because when injuries happen, and let's say the opposing team has the ball, the refs have no obligation to stop the play. They have no obligations. If they do, it's a terrible call. You know, if it's a really traumatic injury, they're probably going to stop it. But most of the time, they're not going to stop an easy bucket. So as soon as they get possession, the ref's going to pull up two hands, blow his whistle, and say, hey, my timeout, because they have the ball. Okay? They have the ball. And most parents get super pissed. Like, why didn't you stop the play, ref? Blow the whistle. And it's like, they really doesn't have to. You don't have to. So,
into the paint.
Super interesting. 26, probably about a 2-second difference on the shot clock and game clock.
Tremendous capacity to come back. Obviously, we're headed towards the end of the half, but the stop here, they'd have to feel okay about where they are coming into the second half.
Yeah, I was 3 for
Good ball screen.
scoring, and with under 10 seconds.
Called a block. Is it a block?
3 for its last 3 scoring.
Yep.
And with under 10 seconds
Went into him. That's a good call.
Foul is called on Joe Toussaint.
Should be 1-1, yeah?
I think he was in good position had he not reached in.
Well, that means Suggs, who
I don't think he was in
has
good
a game
position
high
at all,
18, will revisit the free throw line.
Yep, 7 fouls. They're going to shoot 1-1.
This young man's had some special games already.
Come on.
The rebounder, motor,
We missed one.
tremendous skill,
My bad.
all on display. The three-point shooting has been phenomenal. Look at Ayahi find a way. He's a sneaky
Corey.
rebounder. This could be hurtful.
Yeah, he found Kispert as the clock winds.
Good second chance points.
Garza's got it, and that is it.
All right, so currently the actual game that's going on right now on ESPN with Gonzaga and St. Mary's, it's 80-54 with a little over 4 minutes left to play in that game. You can tune in and watch that. It's actually a blowout like we've expected.
Well, Mark Few wondered what
We
his
definitely
team
expect
would
that they
be
can do
like
that, especially against St. Mary's.
So-
Gonzaga only made step halftime, but perimeter work for his points and still.
Here we go.
defended the three-point
Second
line.
half, first 5
Well,
minutes.
he's missed his last
In the last 5
3
minutes.
quarters. That's kind of the struggles that we've seen
This
from them,
game.
in this game so far.
Yeah.
There's Luka Garza, who's leading the way for the Hawkeyes. 14 points. Suggs has 18 for the Zags. Kispert has been really good too. He has
That's
11.
right. Bro.
With the basketball
Bro.
to start the second half
Out.
from the Sanford Pentagon.
Okay. I don't know why. It maybe just because I keep effing with the sound.
Zaga
I
with
keep
the
doing that.
basketball to start
All
the
right,
second half.
here we go. Little baseline
From the Sanford
exchange.
Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Ball
A beautiful
screen.
venue. 9 basketball courts.
So this is a nice play. And look at the motion here that Corey Kispert is going to exude.
Sioux Falls, South
Okay,
Dakota.
watch this. He's going to do a back screen. He's going to get the ball, and look at how Timmy's already going into it. So again, he's putting his defender, saying, how are you going to defend this back screen? Okay, then I'm going to catch the ball. How are you going to defend this ball screen? So this has become a really common practice. And a lot of teams are starting to do this. They're starting to do double actions, triple actions, putting a defender through multiple actions to defend through. We're seeing it become more and more common. And this may look like a lot of mess. And you're like, wow, that didn't look like much. But it's very common. You just got to train your eye to look for these sorts of motions and put yourself in the defender's spot. Okay, how am I going to defend the back screen? And then how am I going to defend a ball screen, right?
Venue.
They don't really use it.
9 basketball
Right,
courts
the guy
in
gets a
all.
hand
This is
in.
The main one.
Still, the ball,
Suggs going right to work.
the ball for Gonzaga works from one side to the other.
And the rebound.
Super solid play.
The guy wanted a 3 there. They probably still do.
I thought Bohannon had
Yeah.
one that he passed up.
Bohannon with the basketball. Watson with a couple of fouls
Suggs.
is on him, and Suggs with the steal. And the foul at midcourt.
Suggs again.
Against
His
McCaffrey.
anticipation is amazing.
All right, so Luka Garza, he got his numbers in the first half. He worked hard.
They want,
really did.
they want more from him on offense. You saw the coaches doing this. Like, hey, let's go. Work it here.
But not really aggressive. Getting too late. Garza's so good at sealing his defender and getting deep real estate.
Good find.
Watson
Wow.
all alone underneath. Can't finish. And Garza with the second rebound of this half.
I think the Hawkeyes are going to have to try to get some
Good
stuff
hand.
in transition.
Suggs with the rebound.
When it avails itself. Because these guys are definitely going to.
And that's one thing that Gonzaga does better, like I said, than any other team. But it comes to note, look at Corey Kispert here. Look at the contest. High contest. He's off the court, right? Gonzaga doesn't watch the ball. As soon as they're in possession, they're gone. And as soon as this game film comes available of St. Mary's versus Gonzaga, tonight's game, that's 80-53 with 3 minutes left to go. I'm telling you, watch Gonzaga, the players who don't have the ball coming in transition. They sprint. They are full-on sprinting to the other side in transition. It's so hard to guard. They're so fast, and they will kill you. Corey Kispert here. Back to this game. He is all the way off the floor here. Watch his sprint. 2 feet off the court.
Have to try to get some stuff
Got
in
it.
transition
Look at him sprint.
when it avails itself. Because these guys are definitely going to do
I mean, in
transition.
a good wherewithal to get that ball ahead by Suggs.
That's their 13th of this ball game.
Yeah,
Crazy.
13-4 fast break points.
And again, this is a defensive principle for Gonzaga against good bigs. They're going to play him on the top side knowing that what? They're going to get help from the baseline.
Yeah, 13-4.
And you heard right there. You can listen to Corey Kispert say, yeah, I'm here. Listen to it.
Transition buckets.
Help is going to come from the baseline side.
This ball game.
Yeah, 13-4 fast break points in addition to the advantage at the three-point line.
Garza's
And they go straight
he's
up.
Fouled from behind. He's going to get a couple free throws.
I think that's Watson, Tom, that picked up the foul there.
That would be his third.
And
I
White
thought Mark
Trunks
Few
is a
got some
bot.
decent minutes from his young freshman, Dominic Harris and Julian Swarther. He told us earlier this week that he's
At least we're
anticipating
not on,
both of those guys with
YouTube.
time. They've not
Don't
had a
click
ton
that.
of practice time, even during the season or
I can probably
preseason.
go in and ban
But he
him.
feels like they can add some nice pieces in expanding his bench.
Whatever you do, do not click
He's
it.
also going to get a nice piece beginning Monday.
Want to
Ben
become
Gregg,
famous?
6'10"
5 followers,
reclassified
prime,
freshman
and
from the state of Washington is going to join the Zags. 53-37, 18.5.
Always working, Gonzaga is.
Freshman
Here's our half court.
from the state of Washington is going to join the Zags.
Good motion here.
53-37. 18.5 to play. Whistle blows and an illegal screen
I don't know
called
about
against
that.
the Zags.
Wow, and I think it's Watson again.
Our recent game stats. All right, so Clark, you talked about the three-point shooting.
Yeah, if I had a telestrator, I'd be highlighting that 10 of 16 to 2 of 10, plus 9 on the board.
Unbelievable.
Plus 9 actually, well, plus 7 at halftime, but plus 9 now in fast break points. So you turn it over a little bit, which the Zags have done, but you can negate that with three-point makes and fast break points.
Good look.
We're looking for a three. They get a three. Well, the Hawkeyes really needed that. It's Suggs with the answer,
Suggs
and
is
a
just
pretty
too
finish.
nice. He's just too nice with it. He's unbelievable.
That turned out to be a little easy after he split the defense.
Yeah, well, it was quite easy.
Garza double team, got loose as he
I'm
knocks
like
his
watching
way
the
through. He had
the
Ben
real
Martin,
game
Suggs
that's
on both
playing
sides of the
tonight.
bench.
And he's just so strong.
My boy,
Poised in there. You never
Will
see
Graves
him
is in the
really
game.
rush. Because he's so strong.
They got in their backups. It's 84 to 60 right now.
Pressed to find somebody
Super
with
cool to watch. I know his family's in town to watch as well.
Connects again. That's 6 threes.
And they're just executing so well when they squeeze that on.
Gonzaga
Which they've
executes well.
Most
I mean,
of
there's
the
no
time
doubt
they're
about it.
double there.
They do
Then a
that
good
super well.
recovery by Yayi. Wow.
Frederick baseline jumper, no good. Ball is loose.
Couldn't get that
and
one.
Still loose. Wieskamp runs it down. Three from the outside is no good, and the rebound by Nembhard.
And again, no need for an outlet pass with just about any of the Zags. All of them, the guys on the floor, currently, when they rebound it, they can start to break themselves. And here's Suggs.
Suggs is nice.
Seeing what the defense
I wonder if he'll
gives on the pick
stay.
and roll situation, and then here's a
Anybody think he's going to stay at GU next year or go to the NBA?
That is a good way of putting it.
What do you guys think?
Open,
You think he's going to stay?
He's one away from his season high.
You really think he's going to stay?
He likes national TV.
He sure does.
The ball.
The slip pass.
This is just good basketball right here.
TV.
He sure does. The slip pass inside.
It's a good pass.
And he's able
We
to
like
lay it
that.
in.
Over under.
23 points, 5 assists.
Do you
4
think
rebounds.
Suggs is going to stay or leave Gonzaga? Who knows?
Stuffer. Wieskamp with the answer in the three.
And this is where Iowa has to find a way to offer some
Hand
resistance
off.
defensively. Again, you don't.
Seen this again by GU. They love this look.
This is where Iowa
4 guys on one side, 1 guy on the other side. We don't really see this from other teams.
has to find
It's by
a way to
design.
offer some resistance defensively. Again, you don't have to be great all the time defensively when you've got offense like these two teams have. But there
Again,
are periods
it's
in the game
unconventional spacing. So when teams are looking for players, they're looking at the strong side. They're looking at the other side. They're trying to figure out where their players are. They're not normally going to be there because Gonzaga does the overload. Here's the double here. Watch Timmy. He's going to let him drop baseline. And the reason he's going to let him drop baseline is because of help down low. Now what's going to happen is you're going to man up on these 2 guys on the strong side, and now you're playing 2 in a zone on this back side. You really are playing a zone.
Inside to Garza.
Looking.
He's trying to force something there. Yeah, he overdid it there. He should have passed that ball out.
Out way
You
quick,
don't
but
have your
he
initial
says
move
it's on my
to
arm.
beat the double team. You can maybe give it one more pause.
Suggs is
but after
tired.
that, you got to get rid of.
Suggs is going to visit the free throw line off that pass from Timmy. The foul against the Hawkeyes. That'll be the 3rd foul on McCaffrey.
You know, I made the point in the first half that Gonzaga's offense is probably 25% of its defense, meaning because they're so good offensively and when they execute, it gives the defense a chance to set up. The same with the Hawkeyes. And that last play was an example of the offense creating a tough situation for Iowa defensively. The force through the double team, the turnover, and now you're in a broken floor situation, cross match, and end up committing a foul and giving the Zags an opportunity to extend the lead from the free throw line.
.24 for Suggs as he misses the 2nd shot. You saw Patrick McCaffrey come in for his brother Connor.
I forgot they got like 2 McCaffreys on this team. Patrick.
Is good. Little spin.
Now, if I'm mistaken, Patrick is the one that has beaten cancer and is playing. So I just want to give that shout out. And I believe I could be thinking of another player, but I'm pretty sure Patrick McAfee beat thyroid cancer. I believe it's thyroid. I could be wrong. We'll look that up. Another thing to look up. Got a lot of things to look up here after stream. Statistics. We'll look up games. We'll probably look up tonight's stats against St. Mary's. That game just ended. So if you're tuning in right now, make sure you hit that follow button. Hit that follow button. You won't miss another stream. I swear to God. Here we go. So we got about 2 possessions. I'll give it 2 more possessions. Those kids are cute.
He is a workhorse. There's no doubt
2
about
more
that.
possessions, and then we'll go to the last 5 minutes of this game. See how it all plays out. If it's really bad, probably won't watch it. Like I said, it's going to be a short stream tonight.
And he needs some help from his teammates here. But the perimeter of Gonzaga is pretty good size.
Nice little
and
loop set.
athletic. And they're making it tougher for the complementary guys for Iowa, the perimeter guys, to shake free. Look at the close out there, the rotation. And they're willing
So,
the perimeter guys to shake free.
We talked about verticality, right? We talked about this in the last 2 streams, and we talked about it right now. Big thing here, okay? As soon as You go from behind the ear to in front like that, and your follow through is coming down to an official, that's going to look like a foul every single time. And I don't know how you can guard it. I really don't. It's like this looks like a good block.
For the complimentary guys for Iowa.
I mean, it looks like a really good block. Watch. Yeah, that just looks like a good block.
For the complimentary guys for Iowa, the perimeter
One more
guys
time.
to shake free. Look at.
But again, it's the follow through. When refs see that, right? When they see that, you got to pay attention to that. Let's do this. Let's look up. Let's change. Nah, we're going to stay there. Done. Okay. Okay, that's fine. We're chilling. Okay.
Out there, the rotation, and they're willing. We talked to Mark Few during the week, and he said it's a kind of pick your poison. Are you going to play guards or solo?
It's just tough. It's a really tough thing.
Or
Really
and
tough.
not give up the threes. And they've done a nice job of blending both. They've actually done a really good job of not allowing a lot of quality perimeter looks because of that overall athleticism the Zags have on the perimeter. I mean, Ayayi is terrific. Nembhard is solid defensively. Suggs, we saw him at the very beginning of the game.
No doubt.
Show you that closing, anticipating speed to get into the passing lanes.
2 free throws for Garza. Kispert, by the way, has 3 personal
Last possession
fouls
here. We'll watch
for
little
Gonzaga.
1-2-2.
If there is a concern at all as we head toward the 15-minute mark here in the second half.
Now you're in panic mode. If you're Iowa.
Trying to disrupt things.
You're really trying to look to get something going.
Yourself up with this kind of explosive offensive team, although.
Timmy to Watson. How about that? That's sharing the basketball from one big man to another.
Yeah, right now it's Iowa just doesn't have any answers defensively.
Nobody has any answers defensively for Gonzaga yet. Nobody has.
Top. McCaffrey. Pull up.
Who are you going to shut down?
Off the fingertips.
Like again, who are you going to shut down?
Back and he leaves it for Wieskamp. Another 3 for Iowa, no good, and the rebound by Nembhard.
In transition,
Cook.
getting a bucket up.
Ayayi with the offensive rebound.
Should have went to the left. I know Garza's there, but
no good.
got to go to the left. All right. I can't watch any more of that, man. I mean, Gonzaga's just working them. So let's actually look up here. Let's look up Gonzaga basketball. Okay. Here is tonight's game. Okay. For St. Mary's, Logan Johnson, really solid player. 13 points, 1 assist in tonight's loss against Gonzaga. 87-65. You have 16 points by Judah Brown. Number 25 by them. And Matthias Tass going for 12 points. It could be Matthias, but I could be wrong. Let's look at Gonzaga here. Now, look at the scoring here. Not very spread. 1, 2, 3, 4 players in double digits. Gonzaga. 1, 2, 3, 4 players in Gonzaga. Double digits. But you have Corey Kispert shooting for 20. He got 20 points. 3 rebounds. Joel Ayayi, 16 points. Andrew Nembhard, 10 points. Drew Timme, 12 points. Jalen Suggs, 8 points with 5 assists. It also goes to note Andrew Nembhard, 5 assists as well. Joel Ayayi with 2 assists. I mean, this is amazing. Andrew Cook, 4 points. Anton Watson, 8 points. You know, you got all these guys right here. Ben Gregg, 2 points. The freshman, graduated early from Oregon. Omar Abalo, 2 points. I mean, this is like spread scoring. Really spread scoring. Let's look at the field goal percentage for tonight for the Zags. 33 of 54 from the field goals, shooting 61% from the field. We'll look at their overall stats for the whole year, but that's solid play right there. The field goal percentage for the Gales, 25 of 55. That's 45%. 45%. Not really good. Three-pointers here, 8 of 14. The Zags were 8 of 14 tonight from the three-point line. This game just ended. If you haven't already, hit that follow button. 57% from the threes. The Gales, 6 for 20. They shot 30% from the threes. 13 of 17 from the free throw line tonight for the Zags. That's 76% from the free throw line, shooting really well. The Gales, they were 9 and 10. Total rebounds, 29 for the Zags, 27 for the Gales. That's offensive rebounds were 7, 9 offensive rebounds for St. Mary's. 16 assists. This is how well Gonzaga distributes the ball. We've seen from their scoring, when we looked at their scoring here, how spread their scoring is. And I guarantee you, if we look back at their stats, we'll see the assist column is really high. We'll do a side-by-side comparison. Tonight, we're going to end the conversation Gonzaga or Baylor. We'll end that conversation tonight with these stats. I guarantee you'll show a clear difference here. Going back to the stats. 16 assists to 9, 4 blocks to 3, 6 steals to 7, 15 turnovers, and 14 personal fouls for the Zags. 20 for St. Mary's. Just means that they're not really there athletically to be able to defend against a solid Baylor team. I mean, this is actually really staggering. I mean, you don't really see teams playing Gonzaga strong. You just don't right now. Let's look at Baylor, because Baylor. I'm sorry, that's not. We're going to look at Baylor. Before we go on to Baylor, let's look up Gonzaga stats. Men's basketball, and you guys can look these up too. This isn't just like whatever. This is normal stuff that you can find on the internet. ESPN does all the stats for all the games for 2020, 2021 season. Okay? Here we go. Who's leading them in points? Surprisingly, it's Timmy, their big man. Like I said, Gonzaga is somewhat weak. If Timmy goes down, they're in a little bit of trouble. I don't think they can find anybody else who can play big man for them. So you got Timmy with 19 points. He's also leading them in rebounds with 7 points. 7 rebounds a game. Nebhard, he's got 4 assists per game. Andrew Nebhard, 4 assists. Steals, 2 steals. We saw it tonight against the game against Iowa. How Jalen Suggs and his anticipation is amazing. He's probably one of the best knowledgeable men on the court that has a nose for the ball. Let's look at these stats real quick. Okay. Free throw percentage. Okay. They're shooting 72% from the line. 72%. What's interesting is I really want to look up, this is a per game stats. So this isn't for the whole season. This is per game. They're shooting 72%. They're 55 field goal percentage from the field goal range. Okay. Averaging about 12 turnovers a game. That's actually pretty good. That's actually really good. Okay. 19 assists for Gonzaga per game. That's how well they share the ball. They communicate super well. They're averaging per game 38 rebounds a game. Their points, 93 points per game. Let's look at the season totals here. They have, okay, and this is something that we're gonna chart down and make sure that we have these stats, because we're gonna knock down the theory of, is Gonzaga better than Baylor, or is Baylor better than Gonzaga? All right. So here's the total. They have attempted, or they have made 600. I'm sorry, that's not even the stat we want to look at. We want to look at the free throws attempted. They've attempted 457 free throws this season. That goes to say they have attempted 405 3-pointers. Okay? So, now let's look at Baylor. We're going to get Baylor up. Let's look at the Baylor Bears stats. Okay? This is the 2020-2021 season. You can look at this up on ESPN. Okay? What did we say? So looking up at that was for the full season. We're talking about the full season, that 456 for free throws. And I believe, what did we say that 405 number was? That's 3-pointers attempted. These are all attempted. These are all attempted shots that they've taken. Okay? Also, I think what we also have to look at, free throw percentage for Gonzaga was 72% for per game. 72%. Okay? Let's also look at the assists per game. The assists was 19 assists per game. Their assist total, the total number of assists, this is per game. I'm writing these out so that way we can compare. Okay? Assists total per game, the season total is 385 assists. So you have 385 assists by Gonzaga. Okay? Now let's look at Baylor. We're looking at Baylor here. 17 points for the leader. We had, I believe this was 19 points per game for Drew Timme. Okay? This is Gonzaga. Now we're looking at Baylor. Baylor, free throw percentage. Okay? We said Gonzaga was at what? 72% per game? Baylor, they're shooting 70.4 per game free throws. Okay? This is not attempt. This is per games. Okay? The assists per games, okay, is 18.2, which is just below Gonzaga 19. Okay? Now we look at the free throws attempted. This is actually interesting. This is a lot lower than what we've seen with Gonzaga. The free throw, 291. 291 attempts from the free throw line. That's that stat number right here for the total. 3-pointers attempted. We said Gonzaga was at 405. Right? They are at 415 per games. So, very similar stat line. Very similar. Okay? It's not really that much. It's not really that different, I should say. If we really wanted to do it, we go here and we'll make it like this, okay? We'll just do a blank dot. All right? If the ancient computer will work. Let's size this up to 22. Gonzaga, okay? They are, okay? We're going to talk about field goal attempts. This is for the season, okay? Then what I want to do is I want to make a, let's just do that. Let's just do that. Then we go 3 points attempt. Well, let's just do this.